Hello, Video Diary. I thought I should make an entry about something that's been on my mind, which is the year anniversary of my son's death. And he really died technically on the 19th of August because probably stopped breathing somewhere around, I don't know, 1 in the morning. I hear that when you squirt fentanyl into your bloodstream that you suppress your breathing. You just stop breathing. You just forget to fucking breathe. One-year anniversary, yeah. So, I've been using these videos as a way of grounding myself, about check in with my own thoughts. I put it out in this at least somewhat public way. I don't interact with people. I just feel that would be too busy. But I feel like my thoughts and feelings are out there. I didn't want to just bottle them up. I know a lot of people have to do that. They have to suck it up. After this happens, there's, a few months of whatever, and then you have to just suck it up. I really don't know what I'm going to do yet for his death night. I was painting an apartment that night a year ago, and I might go paint another apartment just to set things right, just to put it, see if anyone else dies. I mean, everyone's going to die. You're just not supposed to die from this bullshit at, a young, tender age before you even got your life started. You shouldn't even die at this in middle age when people are depending on you. That's why I never became a drug addict. Not because I didn't want to escape. I do want to escape. I just found ways to escape that didn't kill me. Martial arts, some negative ways that I won't go into, or let's just say harmful things that I've done that were harmful. I drank too much for a couple of years. I didn't realize how quickly and easily that can all of a sudden become, having a bottle of tequila in your Jeep, with I just didn't know until it happened. Or shall I say, of course I knew I was killing the pain. I had a lot of, at that time, I was in my early 30s, and I just was unsatisfied with my life and my connection to myself in the sense of playing. I hated my playing, or at least I just wasn't able to play on the level that I desired. A lot of stuff. Bad relationship kind of situation at that time. And I hadn't yet had the epiphany, that I should go educate myself. It hadn't happened yet. It happened right after that, where I realized, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And it will, like a sponge, absorb all the thoughts you give it, all the bad thoughts, all the resentment, as Nietzsche would say, resentment, resentment. I think that was also kind of meant envy. If you get into that, like envying other people, hating them for what they have, it can get pretty dark. I started noticing I could make my life better by cleaning, literally just cleaning my house, and setting myself in a more treating myself better, respectfully, respecting my body. I stopped drinking. Finally managed to stop smoking, though it took another on and off. Smoking was there from the time I was 11 to 44, on and off. So I may still die from it, or complications. I don't think so. I think I have reversed it. And like I said, I've always been a lightweight. I can't drink too much. I can't smoke too much. When you take a dosage of a drug, like if you take like acid or even like drink, to eat a mushroom, you are going to get as high as that one mushroom. So there is some sense of surrender. But like I said, I used to love the experience of mushrooms, and I would even do them by myself, and I would put out my musical instruments and my notepad, and I would close my room, and I'd open my mind. I would try to come out of it with some artwork or some insight. After a while, when I realized that, that doesn't happen. It really doesn't. You feel what you feel, or at least I felt what I felt was connection, to the earth. Somehow that mushroom, and plus you're tasting it, tastes like shit. And there's a cycle with that. There's an acceptance there. And so I developed my own spirituality around that, until I realized that there's nothing here but my mind using psilocybin, and I wasn't being productive. I didn't come out of there with better skills, or wasn't able to do anything. The lyrics were not profound, but the feelings were. And those are things that I have in me. I already knew that I had those feelings. But when you feel that, let's say, like the depth of love, like you didn't realize you loved your cat or your dog or your mother or your brother or your son or your daughter, you just didn't realize that, like, that love was that deep. Because we all take each other for granted. We all treat each other like we're always going to be there. That's what that means, to take someone for granted, is to not understand that they are just visiting, just like you are. And your stay can be cut short at any moment. My dad, when he died, he did not respect or appreciate his last days. He was very, very angry and resentful and depressed. He had kids that didn't understand. He could have pulled me aside and talked to me, but I saw him crying once in his bedroom, just sitting on the edge of the bed weeping pretty profoundly. And just watched him, and then I said, "It's going to be okay." I put my hand on his shoulder, and I said, "It's going to be okay." He beat me one more time, too. Like, he did. He hit me one more time. I mean, he hit me hard as he could, but it didn't hurt. And I was just like, "Fuck you. This is the last time you will ever lay a finger on me." And it was. So you can see how all those negative emotions can just be, they're so toxic. If you're a person who's beating your kids or being a drunk or being an asshole or just being angry and scaring everybody, you need to think about that. You need to really think about the damage you're causing. My father's anger, his dark mood, and his arrogance was just so damaging that a few times people have told me, they're like, well, it's your mood, your mood is so dark, and that I've listened to that. And changed my mood because I love the people around me and I want them to be well, not scared, you know. Forrest, I didn't get any experience of his dying, which maybe is a good thing, because it would have been just devastating to have to watch somebody die, like some of the parents have to watch these junkies die on life support. I wouldn't have mind, harvesting his organs and sending them out to help other people. He would have really appreciated that, but he was not a candidate because of what he did, how it happened, what happens to the human body just moments after death, let alone hours. What a catastrophe. I saw a well-known guitar player who was my age. His father was a well-known guitar player, and I always had those guys in my mind as like I was going to teach this shit to my son, and now I'm like, I barely want to learn it myself. But I feel like if I don't continue my quest for competency, that I will regret it on my deathbed and every other day of my life. Like I have set this forward as something I will do and I can do, and largely have done over the last 4 years. But Forrest and I would talk about it every day, or every time we talked. So I didn't get to go through my son's dying process, and I want to say that the last month or two that he was being a junkie, he was on top of everything. He was where he was supposed to be, largely on time. He fulfilled his logistical things, like for school that we had to do, and his car had some issues, his teeth had some issues, and and he did everything. And at the time he died, my attitude was like, wow, this is great. My young son has grown into a man whom I can trust, someone I can be proud of, who I can trust, who I can even feel can help his friends and be something powerful, special, himself. And I saw that, and that's why I also felt like, how could you fucking do that to me? Like, con me, deceive me, betray me with that, by betraying, whatever. I've said it so many times. That's what I've said. I'm sick of myself saying this shit. But the fact that he was just, we looked for it. We always looked for it. We said, is there anything going on? We always looked for it with him. Especially my wife. She was super, She said one day he didn't, she was going to see if he came back here on time. He said, I'll be back at 9 or so. He was. And she was like, okay, okay. You know, it's like those type of things, little things we were very aware of. And Forrest had it all covered. But all of it was really a smoke screen for unreality, right? Because it was at least at this time a game, a dance of death, right? That he wasn't going to get out of. Wow. So I'm a little right. Things the 1 year anniversary. So I'm a little, I don't want to say the word afraid, but I'm going to stop or wrap up, terminate, end the video diary. Because I would have said enough, but I'm going to be letting go of something at the same time, and I'm nervous about that. But I also feel like I need to do it. I've been part of a workshop collective. I'm going to quit that. So I realize that I'm distancing myself from some things. I'm throwing out all my clothes. I don't want anything I owned when he was alive. Today I had to carry a floor into this house. And I thought, like, man, Forrest would have been here and I would have had him. I would have done this job in my house with him. I didn't know he was a junkie. And his friends who knew him say that they didn't see him that way, that he was just like such a great guy. They didn't see him as that. But that's what he was. Just like the guy on the train. Because why would you do that? Why would you risk your life for this crap, this garbage? Letting go of those things, letting go of the workshop, letting go of the diary. I'll continue with jiu-jitsu. And I just haven't achieved like a desire to join the world yet, but and I don't think I will. I don't think I'm going to ever, like, it's affected my personality. And here's the last thing I'll say. Sorry, this is long. It hasn't affected my essence, that thing that I feel is like my essential being, but it's affected my person here on earth, like who I am on this earth now. And so that's like the idea that you can destroy my body, but you cannot defeat my spirit. This was something I learned in martial arts. And now I understand what that means. I cannot express how bad that phone call was. Because all of my worst fears, which were his death and being betrayed by him like this, that was new. I didn't expect that. I guess I never feared being betrayed by my son. You know, it's like. But that's what this is. Heroin is betrayal. It's a betrayal of life, the short time you have to experience it, and also the fact that we're needed here. I have to reinvent my need here in some way because he was the reason I was happy in some way. I mean, I'm happy for other reasons too, but I really felt like I succeeded with him and through him. He taught me, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not at a place where like he's gone, but I have, I'm so happy for the time I had with him and so, grateful for what a beautiful, I'm not there. And I don't know if I ever will be. I'm pissed at him because he did the wrong thing. And even his friends, the ones that aren't junkies are scratching their heads. The ones that are junkies, Dave explained to me that it's complicated. You can't get out of it so easy. I know he knew better because he hid it from everybody. But it doesn't matter because you can't hide from reality.